This episode we are covering 5 very good reasons Toyota should keep the 4-liter V6. So let's talk more about that. Okay, my great friend and the dog we all love, star of the channel, Piper's been crying for me. And you know, I can't make this video without her, so let's grab her. Hey Piper, you ready to get in the back of the 4Runner? Come on, let's go, honey. Say hi to your fans. Come on, let's go. Come on. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Come on, here. Hop up, Piper. Go ahead. Up, 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 up. And the wonder of canvas back. Say hi to everyone, Piper. Okay, that's my lady.
A few moments later.
Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode from us here. I'm Terry, and this is On Down the Road Productions, and we've got our great friend here, Piper, who runs security here. So I wanted to do a new episode and add more context around the top 5 reasons Toyota should and could very potentially keep the 4.0 liter V6 in the next generation 4Runner. Really, there's been a lot of speculation around the 6th generation 4Runner, and I feel blessed that in my career working within the automotive industry here in Michigan, I've actually had the opportunity to have access in my past to plant managers for General Motors, whether it's been over Thanksgiving dinner or in the performance of my job duties. So for example, going back a few years to 1997, 1998, never planned it, I got to sit in on conversations for the Greenfield assembly plant for the then new Cadillac CTS.
Everything's changed.
With some of GM's best and most talented manufacturing engineers and plant managers. I thank God for that experience to this day. Earlier than that, when I was struggling through college and raising my son alone.
Well, that's easy.
With really no family. A great couple from our church had us over for Thanksgiving dinner, and these are some of the best people in the world. Turns out he was friends with the Pulltown plant manager here in Detroit. You know what, I take that back. I think it was Hydromatic out in Ypsilanti. But more to the point, I remember speaking with him going, how could you guys do that to the Caprice? If you guys remember the last generation Caprice. What? And I'd been in the plant myself before ever talking to him, and I had seen a mock-up of the 2-door Caprice from back then. It wouldn't have been popular. More to the point, in those days, I also supported, after that, a few years later, I wound up supporting manufacturing engineering for the S10 electric and product development teams for the EV1 electric car, which was a trailblazer automobile. I got to meet a lot of great people from Ed Begley Jr. to other Hollywood personalities that really wanted to keep the car around. And even one day at work, Newt Gingrich showed up because he was writing a book on green energy and electric vehicles and things like that. So I always viewed the Newt Gingrich deal to be very opportunistic on his part to generate some cash on his part. I can't tell you the name of that book to this day. I do remember how warm-hearted Ed Begley Jr. was with me. And Ed, you may remember my face because I went to Torrance a few times. I saw you in Torrance and I saw you in Troy, Michigan. And Ed Begley Jr., if you're watching this, feel free to reach out to the channel. Would love to hear from you again. I really liked Ed Begley Jr. He may have been an affluent Hollywood star, but at that time, for me, raising my son alone and really fighting some huge battles and challenges just to keep us afloat, to have someone come in like that and be kind to me and talk to me. And you know, another cool thing I got to do, now that I'm on that, before we get to the topic of this video, is we raced the S10 electric at Pikes Peak and set a few records. I even got to support that. I didn't go to Pikes Peak. I remember the driver coming in, meeting him. The name escapes me. And I remember the degree of excitement around the Pikes Peak run for the S10 electric all those years ago. And that was kind of cool, you know. These are experiences you can't buy if you want to. They helped me with my understanding of engineering. And one final example, and I have a lot of good examples. So, you know, obviously when someone claims they're an engineer and nobody knows more about what Toyota is going to do than them, that's like putting a bullseye on your back. I'll never put a bullseye on my back by telling everybody I'm an expert. Another engineer, there were two at Advanced Technology Vehicles back in the day that really made an impression on me in terms of leadership, caring for employees, and treating people fairly, and thinking about the best interests of decisions. One day, I think it was 11:30, I was going to lunch and I saw this engineer talking to his team, and I did work with this engineer and that team on some of the PDT stuff and other things. They were trying to make a decision. They're all sitting around his office, and I didn't plan on being near there, but I heard him ask a great question. He said, but if we go this route, what's the impact on our shareholders? Talk about driving a very good decision. And the other engineer that I did a lot of work with, Don, we always laugh because, you know, he got the GM company car, hyper intelligent guy, and GM actually gave him an S10 single cab for a company car with a manual transmission, and instead of giving it back, he drove it for 6 months and gave it back. This guy was so tall, and it's funny to think about it now. Here they had their top talent working on that platform, and they're giving this guy a manual transmission S10. He treated everyone fairly, and he gave me the opportunity not just to grasp some of the engineering and technical issues being faced, but also to contribute when I could on the electric drivetrains and powertrains we were developing for the project I was on. Once we were talking about a gearing issue, and I understood it exactly, perfectly correct. He looked at me and said, that's right, Terry. Let me bring this back to the top 5 reasons now why Toyota could and should keep the 4-liter V6. Well, number 1 is tooling costs. They can save a ton of money in tooling costs by keeping the 4-liter V6. Hundreds of millions of dollars maybe. Why does my phone have to do that? I gotta kill this. Oh boy. Okay, number 1, a very straightforward number 1 for why Toyota could and should keep the 4-liter V6. Tooling costs. They can save hundreds of millions of dollars in tooling costs. I could guess and speculate like other channels do. I'm not gonna do that. It would be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. It may be more cost efficient for them to keep the 4-liter V6 and tweak the software for better emissions, and at the same time give it a bit of a power boost. Why not? I'm gonna go here. Number 2 is the 4-liter V6 reputation for quality and durability. Everybody knows, many say, including this channel and me, say it's the greatest, best V6 motor ever made. Why throw away the brand equity? I felt when they switched over on the Tundra to the new version, they threw away the brand equity of the 5.7-liter V8. They could have spent a bit of money to improve its emissions, whatever they could have done at that time. Workers here, I know a lot of guys, good friend owns a roofing business. I have other folks I know that use pickup trucks for work. V8s in the truck buying community, pickup truck buying community, really carry their weight in gold. I know the 5.7 liter doesn't put up the numbers of the turbo V6 in the new Tundra. What that 5.7 liter V8 had was a reputation for quality, and everybody knows V8s are tough, and this is why maybe the 7.3 Godzilla motor in the F-250 is so popular. People just don't want to deal with turbos, funky technology on work sites, overlanding, or 4x4ing, even if there's less power. It's just the simple, straightforward engineering fact that you've got 2 banks of 4 cylinders, or 2 banks of 3 cylinders, there you go, 2 banks of 3 cylinders that share the stresses, the thermodynamics, the temperatures, all that good stuff of being under duress on a work site or carrying off-roading equipment or towing a trailer. The reputation for quality of the 4-liter V6 is good for Toyota. Toyota built its company on quality. The other point I want to make is, you know, great, you can put a 2.4-liter V6 in the new 4Runner, but everyone knows, including Toyota, as soon as you load up the truck, the fuel economy numbers are going to drop and plummet. So if you took a 6,000-pound 4Runner with a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder, and you took a 6,000-pound 4Runner with a 4.0 liter V6. Which one would you rather drive? Towing a trailer, using it for heavy duty work, or loading it up with roof racks and metal bumpers and all the good stuff people do to their current 5th gen 4Runners. So I feel very strongly that the quality reputation of the 4-liter V6 is good for Toyota. It's the biggest reason why we bought this 4Runner that Piper loves and I love. We feel so grateful that we got our hands on a Lunar Rock 4Runner. The quality reputation of the 4-liter V6 is worth keeping, and a lot of people don't talk about this. They're on their channels making statements like the new 4Runner is going to be a beast and I can't wait. Really, is the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder Bronco a beast? Isn't the current 5th generation 4Runner a beast? What's a beast other than a millennial term to get clickbait and views? 5th gen 4Runner is an excellent truck. I have no doubt the 6th generation 4Runner will be an excellent truck. I said in my previous video that they probably will offer the 2.4 liter turbo Lexus block motor in the 6th gen 4Runner. But I also feel if you look up Toyota culture and history, they like giving customers a choice. If they kept the 4 liter V6 with an 8-speed automatic transmission, a few minor tweaks, that would be a home run. Well, we like to be original at this channel, and I'm not talking about original with quote unquote flashy videos. I do wear a baseball cap, not because it's trendy on YouTube to wear a baseball cap, but I have thin hair. If you look at my 6th generation video, my hair's blowing everywhere. You know, today I got lucky. I'm all for flashy videos, not for videos that lurk the 4Runner forums and videos that copy each other with their content. They're all very formulatic videos. I'm proud of the fact that we're sincere, don't ever want to copy anyone. So no one's talked about this except this channel, and that includes on tooling costs and the actual merits of the 4 liter V6. So those are 1 and 2. Number 3 is, you know, Jeep, Stellantis is making major moves towards dual hybrid technology, et cetera, et cetera. They're kind of forced to, like Toyota, due to the regulatory environment. I'm telling you, okay, I grew up in Detroit, I grew up around trucks my whole life. If you drop the 4 liter V6 and the only option people have from the SR5 up to the TRD Pro is a 2.4 liter cylinder motor, you're gonna lose sales to competitors that offer a V6 that doesn't have turbos on it, and that's Jeep. Their V6, it's a good motor. We just had a Grand Cherokee. Would I say it's as good as this one in the 5th gen? No. People that are into that off-grid lifestyle, people that tow, et cetera, keeping the V6 with an 8-speed transmission instead of the current 5-speed transmission is the way to go. What? You know, if Toyota only lost 30,000 units to Jeep because people didn't want to accept the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine, it's a lot of money going out the door when you could keep the 4 liter V6, and right now the tooling's already paid for. I remember the Ford LTD Crown Victoria. I had 3 Mercury Marauders. Those vehicles were literally straight profit for Ford because all the tooling was paid for. So the upside to Toyota is don't be so rushy to cancel that 4 liter V6 in the name of quote unquote narcissistic YouTube channels that are pushing things that will hurt your market share. Okay. Number 4, I don't believe, and I kind of started talking about this in number 3 behind this, that the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder Lexus block will be readily accepted by everybody, especially if it's the only powertrain offered by Toyota. So let me tell you, I've checked it out, I've been doing research. Lexus vehicles in general have been beset with oil leaks. One of the biggest culprits, especially on the 3.5 liter V6, and I just feel it's coming for the new Tundra. Toyota, if you're listening, the timing chain cover crosses over where the heads are on the front of the block. The gap there on each side of the block leaks. Of course, it's minor, but I talked to my dealer, talked to other people. Tacomas are coming back with oil leaks before 10,000 miles. The ones that aren't coming back are the leased Tacomas that people don't care about. If you own a Tacoma with the 3.5 or the new Tundra, especially if you're close to 10,000 miles, or over 10,000 miles, the next time you take your trucks to your Toyota dealer for service, have them check for oil leaks. They start off minor, and like I told you, other Lexus channels, etc., that I trust, Toyota channels that I do trust. I'm not saying YouTube is full of fake experts. Just because somebody has a YouTube channel doesn't make them an expert. I've always said, I've worked in the automotive industry now most of my adult life, so I can speak with a degree of intellect. Been around cars my whole life, and no, I'm not a certified mechanic. I can speak to some things with a degree of intellect. I'll never tell anybody I'm an expert and everybody else is wrong, or you should listen to me and nobody else. I see a lot of self-proclaimed YouTube channels saying things that are misleading to people, and they never come back and correct their mistake. What? I have said, you know, when I worked on powertrains at GM, GM has a huge powertrain group. I've been in Pontiac at their headquarters, talked to people there on my own about their powertrains and other powertrains from other manufacturers. A small block motor, 2.4 liter motor that was originally designed for use in cars, now being beefed up for use in the 4Runner. Do not be a guinea pig, folks, the first 2 years of the new 6th generation. And don't pay a premium for the 6th generation. When that new Tundra came out, prices went up a lot. I heard on average 20%. No one's got that kind of money right now, and we're in butt-breaking inflation. I would just say if the new 4Runner doesn't keep its 4 liter V6, or you don't have the option to stick with the 4 liter V6, I'd wait it out a year or two on the new 6th gen. I know this one's a keeper. We're going to keep building it. We intend to keep it a long time. Yes! Well, I kind of rolled into number 5 while talking about number 4. So I was shocked to learn, number 5, I was shocked to learn about Tacoma oil leaks. They're happening. I've heard all about the recalls on the new Tundra. You know, there's quite a few Toyota apologist videos out there. So my best advice, top tip, is never drink the Kool-Aid. I get it. Having a new 4Runner come out after so long can be exciting. Having a new Tacoma come out after so long can be exciting. But as far as I'm concerned, they missed it with the new Tundra styling completely. I know the Tundra is made in Texas. People in Texas love their Silverados and GMC pickup trucks. Somewhere along the way, that DNA got injected into the new Tundra. Ouch. I don't think I could ever buy a new Tundra. But if that 5.7 liter V8 was an option, I would do it. There'd be no qualms on my part buying a new Tundra if that 5.7 liter V8 was an option. Another channel, and my heart goes out to them, they're using the new Tundra and water got in the engine. Toyota won't honor the warranty. It's a $36,000 engine replacement in the new Tundra. It's just heartbreaking, and I believe this channel because they did nothing that wasn't done in Toyota promotional videos. I think I figured out part of the problem, actually. I think, you know, part of that problem could be the factory stock Denso filter has a white styrofoam pad on it. Then you have the air filter. And I noticed for the new Tundra, they don't have that. It's just a straight air filter, right? Maybe that styrofoam pad could have saved this guy the loss of his engine and the bill. And I'm still shocked Toyota won't honor their warranty. If you're listening, Toyota, if you're listening, Tundra owners, try to put that styrofoam pad on your air filter underneath. It will block water if you hit a puddle wrong. I know not everyone's going to put a snorkel on their Tundra. Even with the new Tundra's GMC-like styling, if that 5.7 liter was just an option, which it should be before Toyota destroys all its tooling, I would buy it. And Toyota, if you brought back the 5.7 liter V8 with a 10-speed or 8-speed automatic as an option for work crews and construction companies or people that really want the V8, I think you'd make a nice dent and uptick your Tundra sales. I feel very strongly about that because a V8 engine, when your truck's loaded up and under duress, will perform a lot better. So our plea from On Down the Road Productions for all automakers is to pay extra special attention to your powertrains lasting as long as possible. I mean, having things like on our Jeep Grand Cherokee, we were told the automatic transmission had a lifetime fluid. It never needed to be changed. Everyone knows that's garbage. At some point, that transmission's going to fail, and whoever owns that Jeep Grand Cherokee we turned in from lease is going to be so screwed financially trying to fix it. With what things cost nowadays with inflation, there could be an implosion coming. Truck prices have gotten way too high. They know it. But as long as they can lease these things to people, they're going to keep charging more and more for them because, you know, it lets them report bigger profits and have happy shareholders. But the average person who can't even afford a new truck,
Everything's changed.
and leases it instead, it takes away their economic power. There's economic power in ownership, and there's also pride in ownership when you buy a vehicle and can be a spokesman for it, that you owned it trouble-free. That creates more sales.
Well, that's easy.
YouTube is flooded with horror stories on the Tundra, on GM and Ford pickup trucks and Chrysler pickup trucks, and I'm glad we got our 5th generation 4Runner. You know, I made the mistake of listening to automotive press and their claims that Toyota was going to keep its production schedules because this guy said he was an engineer. I work with engineers. Just don't trust what you hear on YouTube. So I don't regret buying this truck, but I would have waited until now for a 5th gen, to be honest with you. Same truck, and I've got a good relationship with my dealer. So hey, everyone, thanks for watching this episode on the top reasons Toyota could and should keep their 4-liter V6. Toyota, I hope you're listening. We're grateful for this 5th generation 4Runner. The quality, the durability, and everything about the truck we love. And Piper loves it too, right here. Our favorite puppy. Everybody, remember to be good to each other, take care of yourselves, live your best day possible, and it's good to be here. Thank you for helping us grow. All that you guys do, whether it's liking, subscribing, sharing, clicking the notifications button. Listen, we're happy you're here. We're happy to be here. Until next episode, thank you.